Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. We're going live today on Facebook on our Detroit Metro Plug page. Thank you for those who are chiming in and viewing us this evening. This Monday evening, and spring is here and starting to get warm. So hopefully everybody's doing good. But again, thank you for joining us on the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, where connections matter. I'm your host, Charles, here as your servant, your ambassador of hope and opportunity. And this is a platform where local Detroit small business owners, local Detroit community leaders, local Detroit authors, artists, etc., can come on their platform and plug their story, plug their product or service about what they do, and give exposure just here in the Detroit area. And so we create this platform for people to learn about what's going on, to interview difference makers. And I'm excited about our next guest that I'm going to introduce you guys to this evening. Just a little bit of information. Our next guest is the Michigan director of the Miss Full Figure USA Michigan Pageant. For those who don't know, the Miss Full Figure USA is one of the most well-established, respected, and long-standing beauty pageants featuring a diverse group of women of all races, shapes, and sizes. Its significance offers gorgeous ladies an opportunity to build a platform, enhance their career ambitions, foster meaningful relationships, and to demonstrate that size has no barrier on beauty. I like that. Size has no barrier on beauty. The average American woman is not model thin, as shown in the magazines. Huge number of them are considered what we call as plus size by short-sighted fashion industry. A little about more about the organization. They were founded in 1989 by Miss Teresa Randolph and Jackie Epps. This organization is comprised of diverse women of many ages, races, shapes, and sizes located all across the United States. The Miss Full Figure USA Michigan division is one of the newest within the state of Michigan with this pageantry system, and will host its first state pageant on Saturday. Is that Saturday? Which is that date, April 3rd?
No, it's Saturday, June 19th.
Oh, Saturday, June 19th at the
Yes,
Hampton Inn in Southgate, Michigan, right?
yes.
Okay, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our next guest of the director of the Miss Full Figure USA Michigan Pageant, Miss D Justice. Yes. Hey, how you pronounce your full
Hello,
name?
DAmrique.
DAmrique, Miss
DAmrique.
DAmrique Justice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, before we go into what you do with the pageant and all the stuff, if you don't mind, you share a little bit about yourself, anything you feel comfortable with, such as, did you grow up in the Detroit area, background, family, anything you feel comfortable with?
Okay, absolutely. So, good evening, everyone. As mentioned, I am DAmrique Justice, Director of Miss Full Figure USA Michigan. Within this pageant brand itself, I am a two-time winning beauty queen. I'm a two-time national winning beauty queen. So I have won Miss Full Figure USA 2015, and I am currently reigning as Miss Ultimate Full Figure Beauty Queen 2019, which is the highest title that anyone can win within our pageant brand. And I am now turned to pageant director. I am from Lansing, Michigan. When I first competed, I was representing and living in the state of Maryland. And then I relocated back home, competed again and won, and was extended an offer to become a director to relaunch Michigan back in 2019. So I'm super excited. More about me: I am a mother, I am a small business owner. I make handmade accessories. My business is called Raining Creations Allure. I am currently in the process of launching a business for my daughter called Raindrops Lemonade. I work two full-time jobs. What else? I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority
Oh,
Incorporated.
wow. Okay. All right.
And yes, that's a little. We'll keep it a little. that's that's a
Wow.
little, but yes.
Okay, so I didn't know you were a Delta. Now, did you play as a college?
Yes, I attended Morgan State University of Baltimore, Maryland, the greatest HBCU known to mankind. But yes, I pledged at Morgan State University back in 2008.
Okay, okay, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Um, so uh, just tell us a little bit about your role with the pageant and how did you get started with that?
So, speaking of my sorority, so what happened, I was at a homecoming. Um, Anyone who attends HBCU homecoming knows that it's more than a homecoming. It's a family reunion, it's a fashion show, it's a beautiful gathering. It's, of course, you have the football game, you have the vendors. It's just a wonderful time. But anyway, I say that to say, like when we go to a HBCU, it's almost like the first day of school. Like you plan your outfit out, you got cute. You like, like when I get up here,
Hmm.
I have to like do my thing. So
Hmm.
I was on campus, cute, because that's what I am. And one of my
Okay.
sorority sisters was like, I've been telling you for years you need to do something. And I'm like, that's not my thing. I've never, ever, ever, ever. If you would have told me in 2015 that in 2021 I would be preparing to direct a pageant, I would have laughed at you like a pageant. Like, I've
No.
never, ever, ever thought that I would be into pageantry, any type of modeling, anything, because it just never was my thing. So my sorority sister, actually told me about the pageant. She said, "Listen, there's a pageant that comes around, and when it comes around every year, I'm unable to do it. I want you to look into it." So I'm like, okay. So I just did it literally because she said do it. Like there was no more, no less. She said do it. I looked into it. I went to the website. I filled out the interest card, and that was it. Maybe like a couple months later, I received a phone call from a woman, and like now she asked me about myself. She said, we received your interest card. Thank you for filling it out. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? So I was talking to this woman for about 30 minutes, and at the end of the conversation, she says, "Well, will you be joining us for auditions this weekend?" I'm like, "This week?" Now this was a Wednesday. I was talking to her. I was like this weekend coming up, like in a couple of days. She's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Well, I guess I am now." So, like I said, at the time I was living in Baltimore, Maryland. So the pageant was born out of Newark, New Jersey. That's where the national competition has been held every year.
Okay.
So I went and drove up to Newark, and that was it. And then she says, "Well, by the way, my name is Teresa, Miss Teresa." I said, "Wait a minute, you're the CEO of the pageant." And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "So this whole time I'm talking to this lady, I didn't even know who I was talking to, but the whole time I was talking to this wonderful soul right
Oh,
here,
okay.
Miss Teresa."
What's the
And
name of
so
that book?
this book is called Power of the Plus, the full figure blueprint to pageants, fashion shows, and modeling careers. There actually will be a Power of the Plus 2 coming out.
Mhm.
But yes, this here is Miss Teresa, Miss
Oh,
Sparkle.
okay. She was one of the original founders, right?
She
Of the
is
pageant.
the founder.
She's
Yes,
the
yes,
founder.
yes.
Okay.
She's the founder. And that's literally how it got started. Like I just was told about it, looked it up, did the interest card, went to the audition.
Okay. Great, 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 great. Now, what is you? It sounds like you first got involved in the competition. Is that's correct, right?
Yes. So after the audition, I auditioned, then I was extended an invite to be a delegate in the show. Delegate is the same thing as contestant. So
Okay.
I remember getting the email, and I had just got home that night, and I parked and I started reading. I closed the email really fast, and I just started praying, like, Lord,
Okay.
you gonna have to help me with this because I have absolutely no clue what I'm about to get
Okay.
into. So, but I was excited, and my experience, I would if I have to pinpoint a reason as to why I'm still involved in pageantry, it's because of that experience in 2015. It was
Okay.
remarkable.
Okay.
It was the experience with my pageant sisters, the experience with Miss Teresa.
Okay.
This pageantry brand, I know from firsthand experience, offers something that I believe a lot of other pageantry systems don't offer. And what I mean by that is the sisterhood,
Mhm.
the attention, the care and concern, like the actual involvement. Like prime example, at the beginning of the month on the 4th, myself and the delegates in my pageant in the Michigan division, we took a day trip to um, Texas. We took a day trip
Right.
to Texas to go shopping for pageant stuff. Like a lot of other pageants is just kind of like, listen, this is a competition day. This is what you need to do. We'll see you when you get there. With us, I mean, I'm not saying you don't have rehearsals, but some don't. Like some, you just have to prepare the best you can and get up there and go. With us, we definitely have workshops to prepare you. We really do press sisterhood. Like the USA for us is not United States of America; it's United Sisters of America, and we
Oh, I
stand
didn't
by
know
that.
that. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, we promote confidence and sisterhood. We walk with grace and elegance. We're a high fashion, glam pageant, and we live by our motto that size has no barrier on beauty. So back to the question, I auditioned, I was offered a position, I accepted, and from there, I was prepared for pageant day by going through workshops
Okay.
that go from everything from like makeup to walk. We learned to dance because there's a dance that's a part of the show every year. Expectation, what pageantry even means. A lot of times people think that pageantry is just about glitz and glam. That's a part of it, but that's not the whole story because I can look phenomenal. I can get up there
Right.
with the best dress on, just looking at me in terms of what I'm wearing, I could be great. Like people mouths can be dropping, but if I'm not selling it to you with my grace and elegance, then it means nothing. So the mental preparation behind pageantry is just as important as the physical preparation.
Right.
And a
Right.
lot of people,
Okay.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that.
Okay. 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 What would you say was the most impactful thing that you experienced since you got involved with the pageant from 2015? What was the most impactful thing?
Back to the sisterhood. I'm super. So my platform is actually embracing true sisterhood. It has been since 2015, and then when I competed again in 2019, I used the same platform. And for me, it just boils down to the sisterhood. I mean, we in 2015 we had a pageant sister that was getting ready to drop out of the pageant, and all of us came together and asked her, "What do you need? What can we do to keep you in this pageant?" I think that's next to unheard of because it's a competition. Even though we understood that it was a competition and we respected everyone as it was a competition, we still embraced each other. It wasn't a lot of cattiness. It wasn't a lot of trying to
Okay.
tear the next person down. It was really about building each other up. Like we went out to eat together after rehearsals. We tried to plan other things outside of rehearsals, even if it was just like on Facebook, sending each other messages and just setting aside a time to just talk and check in with everyone. That it was just a beautiful experience. Amongst us. So it would I would and then I came up under Miss Teresa herself, like meaning she facilitated my workshop. So the CEO and founder of the pageant was the one who prepped us for the pageant.
Right.
Which I think again is like next to unheard of in a lot of pageant systems. A lot of times the CEO is just kind of like show up on pageant day, wave, 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 talk, 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 smile, smile, smile. I'll see y'all next year
Right.
versus Miss Teresa is hands on. She knows what's going on in each one of her divisions. She
Hmm.
knows she continues to grow. This pageant brand continues to grow every year. Where we were in 2015 versus where we are now,
Okay.
milestone. So I'm super excited about that, and I'm excited to be a part of the journey. So the sisterhood
Okay.
is what did it for me.
Okay. That's great. Now, I have to be honest. I'm not all that familiar how pageants work. The only pageants I heard up growing up was like the Miss USA and the
Mm-hmm.
Universe. Tell our viewers and those who are joining us again. Thank you for those who are watching us Facebook Live, and those who may view later on our YouTube channel. Uh, Tell us what's the difference between those traditional pageants and the one that you've been involved in.
Well, I've only been involved with the brand Miss Full Figured USA, and
Okay.
it's just back to what I said. I really feel like I haven't competed in those brands, and by no means am I trying to tear down another pageant brand. That's not the goal at all. I just know that a lot of times it's you audition, you either get accepted or you don't, and it's like this is what's expected of you. Show up on pageant day. With us, there's actually a prep process, and we actually uh, really push the sisterhood aspect in while we're preparing. And I think that that's the biggest separation. Outside of, I mean, the obvious, this pageant is dedicated to full figured women.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
a lot of times, like I have a sorority sister who competed to be Miss Maryland, and size mattered. Like you had to be a certain size.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
not say you had to be a certain size, but it was almost kind of like you knew if someone was bigger that they didn't have as much of a shot, or more a full figure, they didn't have as much of a shot as the younger one or the smaller women.
Okay.
So and that's another thing that separates us. We have a whole category dedicated to older women, our exquisite category. So we have Miss
Oh,
Exquisite Full Figured USA. So that's another
it's another categories based
right,
on
that
your age. Okay.
separates us from other pageant systems. So our pageant is for ages 18 up through age 59. So
Okay.
we have for 40 through 59, that's the exquisite category. So there's Miss Full Figured USA, there's Miss Full Figured USA Plus, and then there's Miss Exquisite Full Figured USA. So we have three
Three
separate
categories.
categories that are national titles in our pageant brand, and that's another distinguishing thing between us. Like we
Okay.
offer a range um, of titles.
Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming you say nationally now, are you guys operating in all 50 states or it's a few states or something else?
Not all 50 at the moment, but we're very, very close, and we're actually pushing to be international as well. So
Okay.
um yeah, so what I mean by national is, so I'm the director of the Michigan division. So there are state divisions. So for example, my competition for Michigan is on June 19th, and then the winners of the of my state division will go on to compete on the national level a few months later. Now, COVID has made things a little different in
Okay.
regards to like when the national competition and things are held, because this year we actually are holding two national competitions because we did not have one last year. So there's actually a national competition this Saturday, May 22nd in Newark, New Jersey, that I will be going to. I won't, there will be no representation in terms of competing wise for Michigan. Actually, yes, there will. We do have a reigning queen, Miss Exquisite, Miss Kim Anderson. She's Miss Exquisite Full Figure USA Michigan. And then she'll compete on the national level, but this pageant is the national pageant for 2020. 2021's national competition is in October.
Okay.
So when you
Okay.
win on a division level, then you advance to compete on the national level. And with the national level, like I said, there are three different titles that we offer. So there's Miss Full Figured USA,
Okay.
which is for ages 18 through 39, size 12 through 18. Then we have Miss Full Figure USA Plus, which is the same age range. However, its size is 20 through about 24, 26. And then we have Miss Exquisite Full Figure USA, which is the all of those sizes. However, is for age 40 and up. So
Okay.
again, the range that we offer and the fact that we're dedicated to full figure women is
Okay.
definitely a distinguishing factor with our
All right. So
brand.
it sounds like you guys have three different areas, titles, broken up by age, and you have
Yes,
different
those
regions.
are the national titles. We offer more titles though, just like, so like with a like a Miss USA, there might be like a Miss Congeniality and things like that. We have those as well. We don't have Miss Congeniality, but we have Miss Fashionista, Miss
Okay.
Cover Girl, Empress of Talent, swimwear. So we offer our optional auxiliary categories as well. But our national titles are those three.
Oh, those three. Okay. Now, you guys, is there certain corporations or local sponsors to help you guys with the organization?
Absolutely. We always are looking for sponsors.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Absolutely. So yes, we do. So like this Saturday, I'm pretty sure I'll see vendors set up selling things. I'm pretty sure Miss Teresa has, because Miss Teresa always is the one who organizes the national competition. So I'm sure that she has sponsors set up who, it could be anything. Somebody could have offered to sponsor the food at the event.
Okay.
Someone could have, we really encourage sponsors for the prize packages, because we do have three separate title winners.
Okay.
So if someone, like for instance, like has an accessory line and they say, hey, I want to sponsor two pairs of earrings to each title winner.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Okay.
Or like my year I won, I received um a number of things. Like I know Ashley Stewart has been a sponsor with us. That wasn't necessarily my year, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I remember I received a basket, and they don't have to be like well-known large corporations. I know I received a basket um of like a local brand that was dedicated to full-figured women. Um, it could be someone sponsors the swimwear winner a swimsuit. So it's just, it's just a matter of us reaching out or them reaching out and and working out something where they become a sponsor of the show.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And so, what is your area of responsibility? Working with sponsors. What do you specifically do with the pageant?
Everything except compete. The director is responsible for everything except compete. So I'm responsible for all of the backstage, all of the behind the scenes, all of the getting ready. So the day of everything that you see, I'm responsible for putting together. That
Okay.
means the look, I'm responsible for how things look from the moment you touch the door or even before you touch the door. I'm responsible for, if I'm going to have vendors, if I'm going to have sponsors, I'm responsible for preparing the contestants, meaning facilitating the workshops. Like I just had a workshop yesterday where we spent the entire time working on the dance.
Okay.
Um, I'm responsible for um, doing things such as this. This podcast. I've done a few. I actually had a collaboration a while back with a pageant stylist. That was really nice
Oh, okay.
because I learned some things about her. She learned some things about me. So that was really cool. She's actually Detroit Pace too. Her name is Erica I don't want to mess up her last name. It's like Pulowski, maybe. Anywho, she's the pageant stylist. Look her up on Instagram, but she's wonderful. So yes, I'm responsible for everything: sound, music, the order of the show, getting models. Um, when I'm telling you everything, I mean literally everything other than me physically getting on the stage and competing. I have to prepare those who are competing, but I myself, I'm not competing, which for me, this is a little different because I'm used to competing. I'm a really good event planner, so even this is not bothering me. But in this realm, I have to keep reminding myself like you're not competing this year. This is not about you.
Right.
So I'm just preparing everything else, but I'm having fun doing it. I really am. I'm super excited. Like the trophies just came in, the
Okay.
backdrops came in,
Okay.
the crowns and the sashes came in for the
Oh,
winners. So I am excited.
wow. It sounds like, man, you have a lot of area of responsibility. Do you have like a team of people, volunteers, or teams that help you with coordinating and facilitating everything?
I do have a wonderful woman who I asked to help me. I know some divisions actually have an official assistant. I do not, but I did ask someone. I did reach out to someone and say, "Hey, can you please help me along the way?" She has been phenomenal. Um, I am so again, like I've reached out and asked for people to volunteer the day of.
Okay.
My sister has been a big help.
That's
But
good.
I mean, I don't have an official assistant, but like I said, like I don't mind asking for help. So if I need some help, I'm going to
Okay.
open my mouth and do so. But it just depends. This is the relaunch for Michigan. This is going to be the first official show
Okay.
next month. And I'm confident because our show is going to be small. We have 5 people, 5 women competing. We have 5 delegates, and I'm confident that once we become established, our name gets out a little bit more, people really hear about us and recognize us and see us, then we'll grow. And I'm sure that, that's when I'll be able to begin to build my team of help. But right now, it's just me and the woman that
Okay,
I
okay,
have.
okay. Great, great. Looks like you're doing a good job so far. One of the things that we like to kind of feature on our podcast for when people are viewing is to share the little like how-tos. So if you was to give advice to a lady who defined themselves as full figured or plus size, and they wanted to get into modeling or to get into the pageant, what would be the three things that they would need to do to prepare themselves to get to do something like this?
Excuse me, 3 things they would need to do. Um, well, I would say research what's available in your area or surrounding areas and reach out and see where that takes you. Don't be discouraged if you can't find anything immediately or get no's. Like for instance, I just had somebody on that same day we took that um, day trip down to Texas reach out via email and ask if we were still accepting contestants for this year's show. Obviously, it's too late, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it the following year.
Right, right.
If it's something that you're serious about, I will continue to research because like I mentioned in 2015 when I got started, this was my first time ever doing anything as it pertains to fashion shows, career in terms of modeling, pageantry, anything. And there are slight differences. This book actually breaks down, the differences between like fashion shows, fashion, and pageantry.
Okay.
But there are slight differences, and I think a lot of times people just clump us all together and say, "Oh, it's the same thing." I get that and I see that, but there are differences, and it's important to know those differences. It's important to know things like why you should know how to do your own makeup. I competed in 2015, which means I started preparing for pageantry in 2014, and I just started learning my how to do my own makeup seriously. But it's important to know that because if you're in a situation where you can't get a makeup artist, something happens, the makeup artist doesn't come, what do? You have to depend on yourself. So I say that part to say stay current, stay on top of your research, know what's expected in your industry, know what is being frowned upon, or like for instance, again with learning back in 2014 as I was preparing, I put together a comp card because at the same time I was like, well, maybe I can step into the fashion world as well. I didn't really go too heavy into that route, but I learned that you need a comp card. And if somebody would have said to me comp card before, I'd have been looking at them like, what is that? And I'm sure somebody might be watching and like, what is a comp card? That's where research comes in. You need to know what is expected in the industry that you're trying to pursue. And just because you start off that way, I'm pretty sure when Miss Teresa launched this back in 1989, the expectation then is completely different from the expectation now. And even down to when this book was written, which I believe was in 2014, 2015, there has been some slight things that have changed or enhanced. So it's important to stay current. And lastly, I would say get out your head. I think a lot of times we, as full figured women, are in our head a lot about will this be accepted? Will this be frowned upon? Let me tell you something. Here in American society, I'm everything deemed ugly. I'm big. I'm a big woman, fat, full figure, big bone, whatever you want to call it. That is me. She is I am her. I am dark skinned. That's something that, quite honestly, in American society is frowned upon as a standard of beauty, is what I'm talking about. Because we know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but
Right.
in
Right.
American society, generally speaking, the darker you are, the less accepted you'll be. I
Right.
have a beautiful gap in between my teeth. I mean, I've been to the dentist, and the dentist will just come and say, "Oh, well, there's nothing I can do about the gap in your mouth," and I'll be like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't ask you to because I love my gap." Like it's automatically assumed that because you have a gap, you need to close it up or you want to close it up. I did as a teenager when I was trying to find a way and figure out who I was, but I'm glad that my mother didn't close it because now I love it. It's what
Okay.
makes me different. It's
Okay.
what separates me. I believe that it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful now. Um, so I say that to say, I have these strong characteristics, physical characteristics that in this society are frowned upon. However, you can't tell me that I'm not gorgeous. You can't tell me that I'm not beautiful. You
Okay.
can't tell me anything as it's clear to see because I've stepped on the stage twice and won two national competitions. So I know that I have what it takes. Now, that doesn't mean I don't research. That doesn't mean that I don't have times where I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. That doesn't mean that sometimes I look and say, man, should I keep going? But I have to be the biggest advocate for myself and know that I do have what it takes. I am enough, and that I need to continue to press forward because things do happen. When I competed in 2015, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong the night before and the day of the pageant. But I still stepped on stage, I still delivered, and I still won. So again, I say all of that to say, do your research, reach out, and get out of your own head. You can do it.
Okay. Great.
Size has no barrier on beauty, and that's truly a model that we live by within the Miss Full Figured USA brand.
Now let's say for future pageants, and somebody they see this video, see us on Facebook Live, and they want to participate and be involved down the road. Do they just go to the website? Do they reach out to you? Is there an interview process or like a
There definitely is an audition process. You would
audition?
need to
Okay.
reach out first, though, wherever you are. I mean, we're obviously focusing on the Detroit area because Detroit
Right.
metro area because that's where we are. But yes, so I would be the point of contact for here. But we have multiple divisions. We have DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. We
Okay.
have North Carolina. We have South Carolina. We have Louisiana. We have Alabama. We have California. Do we have California? I believe we have California. We have New York. We have New Jersey. New Jersey has its own division, um, the state division. Um, we have multiple state divisions, is my thing. So We're all on Instagram and Facebook. So just
Mhm.
look it up, or you could even search the hashtags like um Miss, which is MSFFUSA. If you search that hashtag, you can go through and kind of just see, like, look at the pictures, click into them, see where we are. But again, each division has its own Facebook and Instagram as well. So going to the website or going to Instagram and researching those individual divisions will pull up pictures. Read in the comments, look what's tagged, look who's tagged, even reach out. It could be a past queen. She will point you in the direction of whom you need to speak with, so that you can know where they are. Like right now, I know DC, Maryland, Virginia just pretty much closed out their auditioning process and actually just got started with their delegates for preparing. So they're probably not accepting anyone else, but I could
Okay.
be wrong. So reaching out would be the best way. But they're in the process of preparing because I believe they have a show in August. So, and like again, if it's too late for this year, know that we are around. We're not going anywhere, so you can stay in contact and be on board possibly for the following year. So reaching out to the state division would be first, and then going from there.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, that book you held up
Mhm.
a few times, where if somebody wants to get that book, where would they go? Is it on Amazon or
Amazon,
Amazon? Okay.
Amazon.
How would they search it on Amazon?
Power of the Plus Two, Miss Teresa. Power of the Plus Two. Just type in the
Power
title.
of the Plus Two
Yeah,
by Miss
Power of the Plus
Teresa.
Two. It should come
Okay,
right
on
up.
Amazon. Okay.
Miss Teresa's book, Power of the Plus Two. It'll come right up for you.
Now, your event that's coming up June 19th next month in Southgate, right, at the Hilton
Yes.
Hotel. Will is this a ticketed item? Or can people come? I know there's, because of COVID, there's some restrictions. Tell us a little bit about
So absolutely, people can attend. We need, yes, you buy the tickets. Please buy the tickets.
that. How
But
would somebody buy the
so this
ticket?
is a semi-formal event in terms of attire. Please wear your mask. You can go to I'm looking up the link now.
Okay.
For people to buy tickets because there's so many things going on, y'all. So please forgive me. Brownpapertickets.com. If you go to
Roundpapertickets.com.
brownpapertickets.com and you search Miss Full Figured USA Michigan, it should come up with a list of options. If you look for the flyer that says June 19th, hold on, I'm trying to click on, excuse me, I'm trying to see if I
Oh,
can
no
put
problem.
it in the camera for people to see. But
Okay,
this
yeah.
is kind of sort of what this is basically what the flyer looks
Flyer
like.
looks like. Okay.
So if you see that flyer, then you go from there and you proceed. Tickets are only $40. And the thing about the show is you're actually getting two shows for the price of one.
All
So
right.
that's
Two
something a lot
shows
of
for the
people don't
price of
know.
one. Y'all heard that.
Two shows for the price of one. So you cannot beat a $40 price point. Two shows for the price of one. Get dressed up. Come with your homeboys. Come with your girlfriends. Come
Okay.
on, have a great time.
Okay. Now, I don't know. Is there a limited amount of people or limited amount of tickets y'all have due to COVID or?
Yes, there is a limit. So please, I wouldn't wait to purchase your ticket because once we reach
Okay.
that limit, we do have to cut off. We still are functioning in the midst of a pandemic, and health and safety is priority.
Okay.
So we do have to cut after a certain number. However, if you get your ticket now, you don't have to worry about that.
Right. Now, and when you were telling about yourself, you said that you have some other things you do as far as from an entrepreneur. Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
You
I
mind
do.
sharing about that?
Absolutely. So I am the owner of Reigning Creations Allure, which is handmade accessories.
Okay.
I again, so this was the one. So a lot of things that I do kind of like are like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. So I've
Okay.
been making, I'm a DIY person. Like for instance, I'm doing all of my decorations myself for the pageant. But
Okay.
anyway, I'm a DIY person. So I've been making handmade accessories or handmade items for over 10 years.
Hmm.
And finally, my sorority sister was like, "When you gonna stop playing and start selling your stuff?" So I didn't even think of that. Like a lot of times, because in my mind, it's like, okay, if I want to get you something for your birthday, the first thing I'm thinking is, what can I make you, not what can I go buy you.
Okay.
So that's kind of like where my DIY creative juices came into play. And so finally, my
Okay.
my line sisters were like, when are you gonna sell your stuff? I'm waiting. I'm like, what? And so they put it in my head, and I kind of just ran from there. Like I literally took a couple of months. I got a logo together, all of that, and I kind of just went into it. So that brings us to the table where I met you. That was actually I was there for my business, Raining Creations and Lore. However, I always have the pageant business cards on me, so that way I can, still try to bring awareness to the pageant as well as to my business. And then, it dawned on me. I was talking to somebody else. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start something for my daughter too. So my daughter's name is Rain, which is the inspiration behind the name of Raining Creations and Lore.
Okay.
But I also wanted to start something specific for her. And so her name is Rain. Her grandmother calls her Raindrop. So she's convinced that her name is Raindrop. So I
That's
said, you
cute.
know what, we're going to take that and run with it. So that's what we came up with Raindrops Lemonade. So
Oh, okay.
we're going to start that.
All right, there
Yes, we're
you go.
going to get.
You out here getting it. You get 3 bags, I guess.
I'm trying. I'm really, really,
Yes.
really, really trying. And I'm
Now,
super excited.
tell everyone how, if they wanted to see your unique created accessory pieces, how would they, how could they get it? How could
Instagram
they view
again and
it?
Facebook,
Instagram.
Raining Creations Allure.
Okay.
And Raindrops Lemonade is on Instagram. Nothing is up for it yet because this is literally like this month, brand spanking new, about to at the end of the month do our first, like sales and all that. But Instagram, we're on Raining Creations Allure is on Instagram and Facebook as well. And Raindrops Lemonade is on Instagram as well. Just those names straight through Raining Creations Allure on IG and Facebook, and Raindrops Lemonade. Well, in Rain is REIG.
Okay. Okay. Great, great, great. Yeah, as we wrap things up, anything you want to share again about the upcoming pageant? Anything that we missed that we didn't cover? I want to make sure everybody has the needed information.
Uh, no, I'm excited. I hope you buy your tickets. I hope you tell your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your husbands, your whomever's to come on out and support us. It's Juneteenth. It's Father's Day weekend. I know that there's a lot going on that weekend, but what better way to sell it than with this or
Yeah.
celebrate it with this wonderful pageant brand? I think it's a good time. And I also think, with the weather warming, with us getting
Yeah.
warmer and us getting, starting to explore, getting out a little bit more, still functioning
Yeah.
safely within the midst of a pandemic, come on out and celebrate with us. You
Yes.
will be a part of history because this is the first trailblazing show for Michigan. So come on out
Yes. Yes.
and
Let's
show us
all
some
support. Let's
support.
support.
Yes.
Now, this is Detroit Metro Plug. So if you don't mind, give us those social media handles again so people can know where to find you. I know you
Yes.
about a Facebook page
So,
and an Instagram page.
yes, Instagram for the pageant is Miss Full Figured MI Pageant. Miss Full, all lowercase, all straight through, Miss Full Figured MI Pageant. And it's the same thing on Facebook, Miss Full Figured MI Pageant. So Instagram, Facebook, Miss Full Figured MI Pageant. DIY accessories, Raining Creations Allure. Same thing on Instagram and Facebook, Raining Creations with an S, Allure. And then the Raindrops Lemonade is on Instagram only at the moment under Raindrops Lemonade. Spelled just as is, Raindrops Lemonade. REIGN Drops Lemonade.
Okay, great, great. I appreciate you sharing that. I again thank you for taking time to be on our podcast on this episode. I know you're a busy lady. Uh, just wishing you much success on the upcoming pageant on June 19th, on a Saturday, which is Juneteenth, and
Yeah.
Father's Day weekend. And
And Father's
hope
Day
you
weekend,
get
yeah.
support. We're encouraging people to check out your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and support one of our own local Detroit business ladies and entrepreneurs. Uh, thank you very much for this time. Just 1 second before we log off. 1 second.